Friends, recently I happened to see a video being circulated in the social media that's about Stanley Allen Mayer, who have supposedly developed a water fuel cell in the 80s, and how the oil lobby tried to prevent him from developing his car engine based on a water fuel cell, and which never came to light, and finally he died. So this particular video definitely is quite misleading and far from the truth. The very terminology water fuel cell itself is a total misconception. In this regard, when I was explaining this to some of my friends, one of them asked me this question: why can't we really have a water based car engine? Essentially, water consists of hydrogen and oxygen, and hydrogen can be a good fuel. So why can't we run a car with water? And there's been so much in the news regarding many companies doing a lot of research for running a car using water as fuel. The so-called water fuel cells developed by Stanley Allen Mayer was a non-functional design for a perpetual motion machine. So Mayer's claim to use water as fuel instead of gasoline based on a water fuel cell was found to be fraudulent by the Ohio court in 1996. The so-called water fuel cell should have split water into hydrogen and oxygen, and hydrogen could be used as a fuel to generate energy. And during the burning of this fuel, again water will be formed. If this could be true, then definitely this violates the very basic laws of thermodynamics, the first law and the second law of thermodynamics in physics. So as to allow this to happen and allow a perpetual motion mechanism. The hydrogen gas which is burned to produce energy could reconstitute water molecule in another unit. Mayer's use of the term fuel cell or water fuel itself is contrary to the usual meaning of a fuel cell definition. This type of cells should be called like an electrolytic cells. The term fuel cells is usually reserved for cells that produce electricity from a chemical reaction, redox reaction, whereas Mayer's fuel cell actually consumed electricity. So the question why the term water fuel cell is a misconception. So please understand that water itself does not contain any usable energy. Extracting energy from water definitely requires splitting of its components through a process called electrolysis. And this process consumes a lot of energy. So a device solely powered by water would violate the laws of physics. Also, a perpetual motion mechanism is definitely not possible based on the scientific reasonings. However, in real sense, a fuel cell technology does exist, but definitely it's not water fuel cell. And it's a very promising, the fuel cell technology is very promising technology, wherein hydrogen is used as a fuel, not water directly as a fuel. Separating water's hydrogen and oxygen through electrolysis requires more energy than you get back by combining them. That's why a perpetual motion mechanism is impossible. So today the car manufacturers are looking at more advanced technologies, mainly for utilizing the existing fuels more efficiently to reduce the fuel consumption, or through alternate fuels which can reduce the carbon emission. So a lot of technological advancement is happening in electric cars, hybrid cars, and hydrogen fuel cell being developed as an alternative for car engines. But a lot of advancements have yet to happen. Like for example, for hydrogen fuel cell, a lot of hydrogen infrastructure needs to be developed before it can be commercialized profitably. Similarly, for electric vehicles also, a lot of advancement are still to happen to reduce the cost of batteries, the improvements in the charging time and the run time, and lot many things have to happen in these technologies to be further developed. For the hydrogen fuel cell technology to become successful, clean hydrogen production using renewable sources of energy should be developed further. So coming back to the question asked by one of my friends, why can't we run cars using water as the fuel? Why not science find a way to convert water into hydrogen and oxygen directly? Based on the science, I can tell you that this is quite possible, but not very efficient at the moment. Definitely we get energy when we burn hydrogen, but to split water into hydrogen and oxygen, we need to spend more energy. At best, you can only get what you put in. Although the present efficiency could be maximum maybe 85% or so. So hydrogen can be thought of as a stored energy or stored electricity in that sense. For comparison, you can feel that for petrol, gasoline or diesel can be considered as a stored solar energy. The energy we get them is long rotten down remains of plants and animals who ate the plants, which originally captured the energy from the sun through photosynthesis. That's what we have finally converted into oil. So using water as a fuel to power an engine in a car is unfortunately only a pipe dream. We all know that water cannot burn like a fossil fuel directly. The hydrogen and the carbon atoms are bonded together in a water molecule like magnets. Breaking of these bonds will always require more energy than what you get back by burning hydrogen to produce water again. So if a car had to use water as a fuel, you need an equipment to split water molecule into hydrogen and oxygen. Then it would need to isolate each other in separate tanks. Then you would need a combustion system that can mix them and ignite again, or alternatively a fuel cell which can recombine to produce electricity. Water molecule is very stable. The energy needed to separate the atoms is greater than what you can get back. In addition to that, there are many other problems like flammable hydrogen being handled. So let's wait and watch for more breakthrough technologies to come through for further advancement in hydrogen handling, hydrogen storage and hydrogen fuel cell technologies, and further developments in electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles, things like that, to come forward and reduce the consumption of fossil fuels like gasoline, diesel, to reduce the carbon emissions in the future. Thank you. If you like my video, please like it and subscribe it.